Alright, player from the US, and we try the King's Indian attack again. Let's see if you can find out a little bit more. But he seems to be a new player, so we don't know if the 1400 is his real strength. Want to avoid that he plays e4. So let's see if we can provoke him to play d4 later on. I threatened to take here and then take on e5. So we have a similar position like in the King's Indian. But with reversed colors. Now he pins the knight, but I need to take the rook to the f file anyway, because sooner or later I want to play f2, f4, the pawn, yeah. And here I might even consider playing knight to d2 to play f4. But let's develop. Yeah, nice. So now our plan might be even stronger. So f4, f5. This is a weakness here, so maybe we can even sacrifice sooner or later a piece here. And now let's threaten f5. He needs to do something, because if I play f5 the bishop doesn't have a square to move to, so either he needs to take here or he needs to move his queen. What is his plan? I might jump to f5 with the knight later as well. I like to see this move because now I close the position, and this bishop was a bad bishop afterwards, but now it's not a bad bishop anymore, it's a good bishop. So the plan is to play g4, g5. The question is just if I should retreat the knight. I can't do it, so let's play g4, g5 directly. Maybe I should retreat the king to h1, and then the rook on the g file might be strong. Now it might be even stronger, because the king moved to g8. This is good. This is not a nice square for the knight. This is why I retreat. Otherwise you could also think about playing queen g4 or queen h5. What does he want to do? Playing f6 would be nice, because it's the mate on g6 with the knight. Okay, let's strengthen the position. And afterwards, I mean, maybe there are already tricks with knight g6. I think I can play bishop g5 now, and afterwards knight g6. Maybe it's already over. Do I have direct threats? Unfortunately not. Yeah, he wanted to draw, like repeating the position, but this is certainly nothing I want to do. I could maybe even play rook g6. Is it good now? Let's double the rooks on the g file first. Maybe there are ideas like sacrificing a piece here as well. So I like my position very much. As you can see, the position of black is a little bit cramped, so these knights are not very well positioned here. So I think rook g6 now is a good move. Could maybe even a move earlier. And then taking here. You see that the king doesn't have space, so if he takes, I can take with the knight.
Check.
Like checkmate him, but he needs to take with the queen now. And I mean, this is a position like a disaster. Yeah. So what does he want to do now? If he takes, I just take back, and should be easy win. Yeah, it's difficult to see a move now, and my pieces are working together quite harmoniously. So what is he thinking about? I mean, if he takes with the rook, it's directly over, because if he takes back, take, I'm threatening here. What about bishop g5 here? You know what? I want to play something like rook g4 afterwards, and then checkmate him here with a queen sacrifice, but it doesn't work. So let's hope that he moves back to the 7th or 8th rank. Can I play f6? What about f6? If he takes, I can't take with the knight. If he takes with the rook, okay, I win the exchange. If he takes with the pawn, I take with the knight, and this would be quite strong. I like f6. Afterwards I can take here. If he takes with the rook, bishop f6 would come. Yeah, black is in deep trouble now. And unfortunately he also loses on time. But here I can just checkmate him. So I'm threatening a checkmate on h7. And he can't do anything about it. Yep.
Black forfeits on time.
I mean, in this game, black didn't make a serious blunder in one move. And so this is like strategically quite interesting in my opinion. But nevertheless, he was lost almost from the beginning on. Because what to do in such a position when there is a closed center, you need to attack on the wings. And white is usually quite good in playing on the king side, because I can attack with f4 the root of the pawn chain, and black on the other hand should attack here on the queen side, but I mean, it's not that easy for him because this pawn would be much better on c5. He needs to move the knight away, then t5, c4, but then this pawn would be unprotected. So it's strategically not that easy. Maybe black should castle long and play himself on the king's side. But what he did is to to uh, to castle short here, and this is like to murder himself. I mean, this is very risky because he also already has a weakness here, and my plan is anyway to play on the king's side, and this bishop is not very good here on e6 when you consider my plan with knight h4 and then playing f4 f5. So I think he should castle long, maybe retreat the knight, maybe even to h7 to play something like f5 later on, or f6 and g5 to play himself here on this wing. He could also try to play something like h5 h4 later on. So there's a lot of possibilities. So I think the mistake in this game was here to castle short. Don't castle into a potential attack of your opponent, and this is what he exactly did. So now I just here, I mean, the plan is simple: to play f4 f5 and try to move your pawns forward, because this pawn already helps me to open the g file. Yeah, I just need to play g4 g5 later on, and he can't do anything about it, and I will open files, and I have more space on the king side. So you can say that this move also is not that good, because he helps me to get rid of this weak bishop. Here, if you look at the pawn chain, all my pawns are on white squares, so this bishop is not doing that much. What should I do with the bishop? Let's assume this black bishop would be somehow on a6 or something, or on b6 here, on b7 after he played b6. This bishop is doing nothing, and he's more flexible for it, especially in an endgame. He could try to attack my pawns. So he needed, and I think this was another minor mistake, he needed to play something like taking here. He shouldn't allow me to play f5, because after f5, strategically the game is over. Yeah, here in this position I just play, as said, g4 g5. I will try to open files, and there is no attack on the queen side. It's much too slow, and he tries to move some pieces to his king to support the king, but although he was successful in moving some pieces on the king side, it was not enough. And I think yeah, we don't need to look into much more detail. The thing is, don't castle into a potential attack if you already have weaknesses on your on the side, on this side of the board, and you shouldn't allow such a strong attack.